Hey all, welcome to this, which is the first of my Twilight Struggle Saito tournaments. This is a tournament series being run by Saito. Because you can agree the basic deck, which is running the event, we are running the Saito deck, which means you'll notice this card, Cultural Diplomacy, which replaces Olympic Games in the regular deck. Which allows you a one-hop place of influence, which is useful for USSR getting into Venezuela, but also USA getting into Thailand after the base play when DEFCON's at 3. You can go from Australia to Thailand. So there's a bit of stuff going on here. Slightly mixed cards. You can see the chat as well. Uh, There we go. So, anyway, I'm USA. It's going to be made more complex by the lack of regular cards. But we've got Unit Intervention and Blockade, and we can ditch Asia scoring in the headline. Unless they play Vietnam Revolts, we're not going to get punished for that. So let's plug in our cards. We've got IR, US Japan. This is going to be made slightly more complex by the fact I went out for work drinks because it's the first time in the best part of a year and a half that I've been out with work colleagues. So I managed to get 5 pints down me during the trip to the pub. So yeah, I think it's been a while since I played Twilight Struggle anything less than completely straight-laced. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to treat Cultural Diplomacy like Olympic Games, which it effectively replaces. So, we're waiting on Dark USO, who's my opponent, to put down the USSR influence. And we'll go from there. So, what did they open? 441 in Yugoslavia. We've got Blockade, but we'll probably go and intervention it to clear out our hand. Otherwise, well, we could play into India with Cultural Diplomacy. That's pretty sassy. But we're unlikely to get domination doing that. Choices. There's a very sassy opening with 3 stability. But regardless of that, I think we open 442, right? So, headline options are either Asia scoring for -1 VP, keeping Cultural Diplomacy up, and also keeping it for 2 VP, right? We don't know where Defectors sits. So the safe bet is, unless they're holding specifically Defectors and Decol, we can ditch Asia scoring for -1. Which is probably the safe bet. Oh boy. I think we'll do Asia scoring, right? And then we'll try and avoid socialist governments and a massive coup of Europe. But without defectors is and you know, cultural diplomacy is going to take a lot of ops to invest in Asia. So Asia scoring. Ooh, we're still on beginner mode here. So let's change that. Expert mode. The last thing I need is to click every card that follows. So, this is our headline. Oh, they managed to clean out Iran. Let's just check the log. So headline was NTB. Nope. Wait, Nazi scientist. That makes more sense. Who headlines NTB? Right. So, but I wish I played cultural diplomacy now. So, in the absence of scoring cards and with Asia scoring scored, what do you think? US Japan filling France to cover Europe domination? Or 2 into Egypt? That's probably best. I think UN intervention blockade is best just to clear out the 1-op card from our hand. Let's just fire up chat again. So, with Asia scoring gone, the race to Thailand is less interesting. So, we could US Japan into France because that allows us to play into Egypt as well, but makes it a soft coup target. And with 1-op in Egypt, we could also get Nassered out. But we've got no space targets. Holding Cambridge 5 and having ditched Asia scoring is completely boring. So, in the absence of Middle East presence, maybe the best thing to do is independent Reds 2 into Egypt. That gives us presence in the Middle East at a time when they are struggling. So any foothold in the Middle East is good here, in the absence of them making more effort. And if they coup Egypt, we can counter coup. So we'll see what they make of that. So let's see what the riposte is. So, quick response, and it appears to be pumping. Ooh, using D-Star for ops, I'm always happy with. Overprotecting Iran is fine, but using D-Star to do it is probably a whiff, because you want to use D-Star to fill up the South America and Africa regions. But DEFCON is 4, but either way, using D-Star is like not particularly appealing there. So where are we next? It suggests they're not holding Europe scoring because they did not ditch Europe scoring in AR2. Asia scoring's gone. So we could play 2 into Libya and 2 into Jordan to get Middle East domination and also pressure the Middle East. But then that leaves us unable to riposte on France if we want to fill up France. So that's a little tricky. Hmm, 3 in Iran. Interesting. Could just be an overprotect against the counter coup. But we could use US Japan and go 2 Libya, 2 Jordan. Although we could go 2 Libya, 1 Lebanon, 1 France, and then allow us to fill up France at DEFCON 4. And who coups Lebanon? So, this might be wrong. But it's been a long day. So let's do that. And see what they respond with. 2 in Iran seems like the obvious bet. Do forgive the delay. There we go. Right, where are we at? So, just drop chat. Yeah. So Formosa failed coup on Libya. It's good. Suggests they're not holding Middle East scoring. Also not particularly interested in the Asia race, which is fine because we dropped Asia scoring. So, the problem with dropping Cambridge 5 is that we indicate we're not holding a scoring card. But we're also on DEFCON 3, following 2 coups. So one option is coupping on Iran or Iraq. But even a big fat coup on Iran does not improve the situation there. Whoop. So, we need mill-ops, I guess. We don't want to give up 2 VP, especially when we're -3 with Asia and captured Nazi, and we can protect Egypt and Iran, Libya doing so. So, we can drop Cambridge 5, and if they do event de Gaulle, we can use Truman Doctrine to clear it out. So let's use Cambridge 5. Ops. After ops. Coup. Iran. Yeah. Could be worse. Clears them out. Yeah, foremost is gone. That's fine. We track that. So let's put that away. So we've got a mill-ops for the turn, and we're currently presenceless domination in the Middle East, which forces them to riposte there. They play into Iran and Syria. That's fine. So I think they probably think we have it, and they've triggered NORAD doing so. So, given that they've triggered NORAD and we're not in Iran, and we're USA, I think the best play is probably 2 into Canada. Although, France is probably... close call. The problem is that if we play UN intervention on blockade, we're going to be losing Truman Doctrine this turn anyway. So we don't cover France if they do play de Gaulle on the headline next turn. Unless we have defectors. So it's either cultural diplomacy into France or Canada, I think, here. We've got domination in the Middle East and Asia's dropped, and we as USA don't need to rush. Let's play France, and if they then riposte with de Gaulle, we can use Truman. But we want to try and put them under pressure. Kind of feel bad using cultural diplomacy, the Saito card, which allows you to hop over. So it's good for Panama to Venezuela, or South Africa to Zaire, or Australia to Thailand. Probably more attractive to the USSR, but either way. But we now have domination in the 2 unscored regions, which puts them under some pressure. So, special relationship. We'll probably put 1 in Canada here, because we can convert for NORAD. And where did they put their 2 in? So they leveled up in the Middle East, which is fine. With D-Style gone, I think we do want a UN intervention blockade. We just need to remember it's gone. And we'll put 1 in Canada for NORAD. So, special relationship gone. and blockade UN intervention gone. That cleans our hand up a bit, although the deck is far more red than blue in the early war. Man, Dark USO does not mess around. Middle East scoring, they had it all along. Well played. So we'll probably use Truman Doctrine to put an extra influence in France just to be on the safe side. Every single influence counts if de Gaulle is going to come in the headline. And we're on to turn 2. We got de Gaulle and Suez. That's very attractive. And defectors. So we could duck and cover. Or defectors. Key question is, what are they likely to headline given our hand? So... they've got, so we play de Gaulle, Suez, duck and cover, defectors, Comic-Con Vietnam, East Europe, Indo-Pac, and that's our hand, 8 cards. So, likeliest headlines, with a 50-50 chance we hold defectors. Headlining CIA, if we defect it, it's no big deal, because it goes back in the deck. SOCGov, Arab-Israeli to some extent, but Korean, Decol, Fidel, even NASA, with us having played 2 and 2, or Purge. I think we probably defect here, in the absence of an... It's either duck and cover or defectors. But I feel like defectors isn't going to punish us unless they headline exactly Europe scoring. And if they do, well done to them, because they know it's a 50-50 chance for holding defectors. So... Alright, defectors it is. No Europe scoring, please. Forgive the delay there. That was a slight headphone issue. So, USSR couped Libya. And we played the NORAD influence into Panama just mostly to shore it back up. Middle East scoring's gone. So we don't have to rush to respond in the Middle East. NASA's a bit of a problem, but not enough to merit a response now. USSR's got their MILOPS in. So I suppose now's the time to Indo-Pakistani War Pakistan. Because even if they play in, we can play into India. And we get our MILOPS in doing so. So I think the 1 in 3 Pakistan play. Although, I don't know, if we don't play it now, we can encourage them to play into India as well, and then it's 50-50. So they played NATO, fine. We dropped defectors, so 1 into Jordan maybe. We've got Europe covered. Defcon's 2. We need to watch out for decol, so maybe Angola's a good shout. So 1 into Angola, 1 into Jordan, 1 into Malaysia maybe. That seems fine. So Eastern European unrest. 1 into Angola. 1 into Malaysia, covers decol, and 1 into Jordan to play into Saudi. May not be best, but I am a few sheets to the wind, so we'll just see how it goes. So, let's just drop the chat there. And we can push the log to the side until we see what they play. So yeah, Middle East is not great, but Middle East has scored. Asia's scored. If we can get them to play into India, we can use Indo-Pakistani War to flip India. It's much more attractive. So we will see how they respond. We probably want to put one of the 3 op cards to space. And we want to overprotect Thailand before... there's decol. There we go. Probably a good thing we played into Malaysia and... Malaysia and Angola before they play decol. Not good, but we are in the best spot to recover from it. The upshot of that is that if they play 1 into Thailand, we can just use the 3 op card and they have to use the China card to flip Thailand. So they do. So we will use Comic-Con here. Yeah, no, duck and cover. Duck and cover. We're not going to hold it through the turn. So, cover Thailand. If you want to use the China card, you can. But I'm not sure inventing decol and then using the China card is the most attractive. We'll see. So, they will either China card flip Thailand or cover Algeria, play into Saudi. It's not very attractive. I guess flipping Thailand is reasonable. Sotgov. Okay. Eventing Sotgov as well. So we will do 2 Italy, 1 France. Oh, right, they're eventing it for their pleasure. That's fine. So, I think here we play Comic-Con, and we overprotect Thailand and play into Laos. With blockade gone, we can go crazy. But overprotect Thailand and play into Laos, and that allows us to sneak into Burma in the long run. So Sotgov is gone. Cover that. We're fine for domination in Europe for now. So AR6 we can play Vietnam Revolt. That means AR5 we have to play Pakistan Indo-Pak War if they don't play into India beforehand. But we might be able to seduce them into playing into India now, knowing that we're approaching. 3 into India now is sweet, because it gives us a 50-50 crack at it. We want to hold on to Indo-Pakistani War as long as we can. And Vietnam Revolts is the innate AR6 move to make sure they don't get any benefit from Southeast Asia. But right now, we are even in Asia. Having dropped Asia's scoring in turn 1. So just one op in India. Still relatively attractive. Covers Greece. We're still well in control, even if they take Turkey. Whoop. And they played Warsaw Pact to do so. That's fine. So let's drop that off. And we will... I think now is the time to space Suez, giving us the R5 on India. Worst case scenario, they play 2 into Burma. But I think if we space, that's probably not a big issue. So let's space Suez. And we miss, from the look of things. Yeah. Fair enough. They do have to watch out for CIA. So if we're lucky, we'll be dealt 5-year plan and duck and cover in the turn 3 deal. In which case we have a... Well, they've got the China card, so I suppose it's not a slam dunk Defcon suicide option. But who knows? We'll wait and see. Right now, it's fairly finely poised, with Decol dropping but us covering Thailand, and the failure to use D-Style in South America. We're in decent shape. So what did they play? Europe scoring. Slam dunk. So now's the time to event Indo-Pak at war. If we can flip India at 50-50. Got 2 ops to close the deal if they don't respond. So, event Indo-Pak, and India is the target. Alas, but we get our mill ops, so it could be worse. So, oh, hello. Event Fidel. With Thailand covered, we've got 2 options, right? We either play into South Korea, getting temporary domination in Asia, but risking the 50-50 flip with Korean War, which hasn't been seen yet, or we try and realign Cuba, which is a bit more straightforward. We can't cover the Middle East. Well, we could break Iraq with 2 ops, but that's a bit dull. And obviously we've seen all the scoring cards. So, 2 ops with Fidel is a 1 in 3 chance of clearing that at Cuba. So it's either a 1 in 3 chance or covering South Korea but then getting 50-50 flipped. That kind of sucks. So, let's go with the Fidel realigns because they are sassy. The only neutral card in the turn 3 deal is Purge, and we've still got 5-year plan and CIA to go. So if we can get dealt 5-year plan and duck and cover, we might not be in shabby shape. So, yeah, holding D Gaul against blockade is fine. Let's go with the realigns on Cuba. One in 3. Be good. Oh, yes. And one more. Ah! Better than nothing. Still very bad, though. Do we get Purge? Do we get 5-year? And we dodge. Oh, shit. We get 5-year plan and duck and cover. Very sassy. Very sassy indeed. Right. We didn't get Marshall Plan. Marshall Plan. Containment CIA. no Korean War. Rewarded for not going for Korea. And Romanian abdication in their hand, and we get NASA. So 5-year plan, purge, NASA de Gaulle, reshuffle, and we get Europe scoring, Arab-Israeli war, duck and cover back. So, an EU. Alright, so, man, the maths on card counting is a lot easier when you've not been out to the pub with your friends. So, we know they're holding 5 of 8 cards. One of them's CIA. I don't think we lose anything, right? If they headline CIA, they can't get access to France, and we still have Europe scoring. So I still think duck and cover is the way to go, which neglects CIA. So let's go duck and cover, which is 3VP. And they headline Korean War, and it looks like they missed. Yeah, they rolled 1. Great! And they know they've got to use the China card in order to avoid DEFCON suicide. So the worst thing here is where we headline 5-year plan and pull CIA, right? That's complete garbage in this situation. But the duck and cover 5-year plan play. So jam South Korea, which is, absolutely legit after the failed Korea coup. So US Japan, I dropped in turn 1 for ops. They've got Marshall Plan. Rather than fight Japan, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think the safe thing to do is play into Malaysia and Indonesia. And we can use Arab-Israeli war if we want. Milops are 0, right? Because I played duck and cover. That's a reason not to play Arab-Israeli war. Europe's fine for when we want to drop Dom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have to play 2 into Turkey and 2 into Yugoslavia. And they're holding Marshall Plan. That's not going to work. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to watch out for Middle East scoring, but we've got Europe scoring in the bank. So, 1 into Burma. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 into Burma, 1 into Malaysia. One into Jordan. Alright, so they played the China cards, and they headlined, so they've got 7 cards left. Yeah, even if we duck and cover, they're one. We know they're stranded with CIA if we event duck and cover. 5-year plan. But we don't have to do that just yet. I suppose we want to make sure we avoid domination where possible. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we hedge our bets. Let's assume they don't have Middle East scoring. In which case, Eastern European unrest doesn't make a swell difference. And we can go Indonesia, Burma, Saudi. and Saudi. Not sure that's best, but we'll go with it. So they got Marshall, Containment, Romanian, CIA, and 3 other cards. If they drop Middle East scoring, we drop Europe scoring, I guess. We probably want to space Arab-Israeli war. Don't want to give up Milops. So we'll wait and see what they do on their turn. NATO. So that's twice they've got NATO for 4 ops while we wait for another Warsaw or Marshall to drop. Very nice. So 4 in Saudi? No, went with India. Ooh. Afghanistan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So I think we probably go Purge, Ops, Place Influence, and we probably go Burma, Malaysia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 2 in Saudi. Although they would have dropped Middle East by now. Maybe we go 2 in Algeria. Yeah. Pressure Algeria instead. Not sure that's best. But while we're going with it, they have to use containment to flip it here. Or Marshall Plan, which puts Europe to bed. So, let's just check on what's going on here. No business, no business. Good. Alright, straight up Marshall for ops. That means we can cover Turkey if they don't play 2 in there. And 3 in Algeria suggests they won't. Great. And 1 in Cuba to refill. So we go Turkey. And then we've got our pick of the bunch. So I think we want to cover France. 1 in Italy to cover SocGov. Portugal. 1 in West Germany. 1 in the UK. We're right with Canada. So 1 in Finland and 1 in... Oh, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, fine. So... we know they're holding Containment, Romanian, and CIA. I think we probably... we either event 5-year plan now, or we play Europe scoring. And because we are unlikely to hold 5-year plan through the turn, let's event it now. No CIA, no CIA, no CIA, and Indo-Pak. That's a great discard for us. Denies the Milops and shortens their hand. So that's not shabby at all. I know that they're not looking to flip Pakistan or India, but any denial of Milops is nice here. Korean War's already gone. Was that this turn? Milops. It's so long since I played on a board. Yeah, they've already got their Milops. Crap. Okay, not so bad. They've spaced special relationship. We space... no, we event Europe scoring in response. Let's just check we definitely dominate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's fine. So we ditch Europe scoring in response, and we know exactly what their hand is, right? So they've got containment, remaining abdication, and CIA. They have to hold CIA. So they're going to give us an extra VP at some point. Which means we can space NASA once they contain us. So remaining application first, I guess. And we're going to go into mid-war. Them ahead in Africa, but not by a lot. We're ahead by 10 VP, that's alright. And no development in South America. So it could be worse, certainly. I'm going to be greedy. They may space. Nope, they play remaining application. That's fine. That's standard. I was thinking they might space containment, considering. One in Taiwan because Formosa is in play. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we space Arab Israeli here. Or event and repair de Gaulle. So knowing they're going to finish with containment, I think we event and repair de Gaulle. No blockade. Get it out the deck. One, two, and we play one into Colombia because they have to coup with containment, and we can coup with Arab-Israeli war, hoping they don't roll a 6 to flip the 1 influence in Israel. I think that's maximal pressure here. And if they contain us and don't coup Colombia, we can just use Arab-Israeli war to put 2 into Venezuela and 1 into Jordan to avoid flipping. Let's see what they do. Two in Taiwan, 1 in Saudi. That's fine. They're already ahead in the Middle East. That does give them domination in Asia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, with containment. So let's gamble. We'll put 2 in Venezuela and 1 in the Philippines. But we'll do it after ops because we're not going to go into Jordan. And 1 in the Philippines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll a 1. All is well. Add mid-war cards, and they are holding CIA created, which is very relevant. So, nuclear subs is unplayable with them holding CIA. Defectors is reasonable. Missile Envy with Duck and Cover gone is legit. I think Missile Envy is probably the most appealing headline here. And we got D-Star, which is a bonus. So, you and I, D-Star. ME. Defectors, Shuttle Dip. Shuttle Dip doesn't swing the pendulum in the Middle East or Asia, so it's not worth playing. Nuclear subs. U2. Libthy is our space guard for the turn. And that's our turn. So it's either Defectors or Missile Envy. In the absence of worrying about Duck and Cover, we can headline Missile Envy. If we get We Will Bury You and they headline CIA, so much the better. Or if we headline We Will Bury You and they play Junta, That's a bonus too. So I think Missile Envy is the play. Let's see what they have. SocGov. Not bad. Very stable headline there. So they're now holding ME, and we get in response. With Europe scoring gone, SocGov is less concerning. So we'll wait and see what they do there. 2 into France is bad. 2 out of France because a 4-up card flips it. Whereas 1 from Italy. Do I not have protection? No, 1 for Italy is fine. Good. The least alarming SocGov to date. But we don't have grain sales or 5-year plan. Ah, we get FP. So 2 VP, better than the poke in the eye. And they can only use Missile Envy, which makes for a slightly lousy Venezuela or Panama co. And fails the coup on Venezuela. So, we've got a NORAD op to use. Where is most appealing? We could break Algeria. Overprotect France, less appealing. Break Korea. And with the China card, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not gonna swing Asia. Breaking Algeria is reasonable. But we are short. Well, we could use Shuttle Dip to flip it. Yeah, so I think flipping Algeria is probably good. Let's use Shuttle Dip. Don't want to give up the fact we have. I suppose Angola is only a 3-op card or a South Africa Unrest or Portuguese Empire away from flipping. Let's wait and see if they embrace that. Yes, they do. Whistle for the wind. And we want to use UN intervention, but we have to watch out for blockade. Ugh. If we use UN intervention, U2 incident, we can get punished here. Blah, 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 blah. I suppose cooing Southeast African states isn't shabby. Denies Africa domination, gets our MILOPS. Alright. Great. Not necessarily the best play, but it's the one we're going with. We mostly have to stay ahead here. Plus 10. Just don't do anything completely stupid. Got presence domination in South America. It's mostly footwork here. With Europe gone, Southeast Asia is in our favour. So, yeah. Keeping a nose ahead. So, CMC, Zimbabwe, and South Africa, sorry. Okay. One. We are, if we use your intervention, we're unlikely to hold it, so we can coup Zimbabwe. Or we can flip Angola and then hold out on the rear lines. The problem is using that means you intervention, then you two incident, then you intervention afterwards. But we're not going to hold defectors either way if we use your intervention, so I suppose cooing with defectors is fine. But we've already got our mill ops for the turn, which is kind of crappy. But playing into Zimbabwe signals they're potentially holding a card. So we use defectors, and we'll coup Zimbabwe. Well, regardless of whether or not they're the right move, that's a hella coup, at least. Get CMC in the discard pile. So, Botswana next. Trying to make sense of what's in their hand before we do more. And we will wait and see what that yields. So we're holding the China card, and we're on AR4. So they hold 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 spare. 5 cards, of which we only know they're holding CIA. Don't know the other 4. Omit, which means we get to see 5 cards. Always a bonus. Let's hope that they are sympathetic cards. Cameroon and Sahara, so looking for the big Dom. But we can flip Angola. NTB is neutral, so we probably want to flip that. And OPEC and DCOL. Nice. So OPEC, DCOL, and NTB are gone. Keep John Paul and Colonial Rear Guards. And click there. So, I think we go UN intervention D style, holding U2 incident against blockade, should it come. They hold 3 other cards. That's got to be galling to see. And it still gives us U2 AR7. And we got the China card if we don't want to use NASA. But Libthy is still our space card. And we are still not off the launch. Oh, Southeast Asia scoring for 6 VP. That is brutal. So we space Libthy in response. Come on, NASA. Boo. And then AR6, they've got 2 cards, 3 cards, one of which is CIA, 2 others to play, because they can't play CIA without dying. Starting to shuffle up here. South America is a win. Africa's 0. Middle East isn't great. Europe scored. Asia's middling. We're in decent shape here. Just have to try and weather the storm here. We've gone off to a decent early mid-game. Sadat before Nasser is kind of grubby. So, as frustrating as that is, I think we hold U2 against blockade. We don't mind giving up Middle East for Dom when we're in decent shape elsewhere. And we can AR7 into Brazil if we need to. Frustrating. We'll just put the one straight back in there. If they don't play blockade, we can go 2 Brazil, 1 Egypt just to keep Tottenham up. Ah, they play OAS. Bonus. So I think here we just put maybe 1 in Chile, 1 in Cuba. Forcing them to put 1 in Cuba for presence, stopping them doing mischief elsewhere on the board. So, behind the Middle East, if they put 1 in Cuba, we can go 2 Mexico, 1 Nicaragua. Meaning we've got domination in Central America, South America. We're behind in the Middle East, even in Africa. And with, let me just get the maths up, 16 VP. We're winning in South America. Don't win with Central America. Where did they go? Oh, one Egypt. Oh, bonus. In which case, wait. So we give up a VP, but we can get presence-less domination in Central America. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to use a China card to get ahead there. So let's go to not to win the game, right? Because we're on 16, 15, then. So 2 Mexico, 1 Nicaragua means South America or Central America wins. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, fine. I have to watch out for Hunter. Yeah, okay. So, they're still holding CIA. Surprise, surprise. South America scoring's good. Bear Trap also good. So they need to play Middle East scoring in the headline to stop or Asia scoring. So maybe we go Bear Trap. Well, we've got Hunter, so ABM Treaty is the only card they can play that frigs up South America. And even if it does, we've got Colombia. So maybe we headline South America scoring here and just have done with it. Warsaw, Suez. South African Rest Allende. South African Rest Allende. And Camp David plus Truman. Okay, so we've either got Bear Trap if we think they're going to be snazzy, or South America to try and win it out. Whereas only ABM. Oh, or Brush. 50-50 Brush. ABM or Brush. Let's go for it. Let's drop South America before it gets messy. And drumroll. Brezhnev does not do it. Game over. Okay. So. Let's... Whoop. Okay. So yeah, getting 2 Europe dominations really helped there. We managed to drop Asia for -1 and then didn't see it again. Middle East didn't do a lot of damage. I think Export did it, right? 2 Europe dominations, presence-less South America. Yeah, tough. Oh well. Thank you for watching. I actually have another game in 10 hours. I'm going to play Sejun on the same engine, Saito. So look forward to the next game. All right. There we go. Oh, yes, and Southeast Asia scoring. So, I will see you in 10 hours for the next match. I need to go and have a nice big fat sleep because I've been going into work at 6 o'clock the last 2 days. I've got an 8 o'clock game tomorrow morning, so I am sleepy. And I'm sure that the 5 points have nothing to do with that. So, until tomorrow morning, thanks a lot for coming by. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Until then, bye for now.